Tonight, when you lie down and close your eyes, you will do what you have done every night for years. You will bring the entire day with you into your bed. Every conversation, every mistake, every worry about tomorrow, you will carry all of it, the full weight of the day, into the only hours that were designed to heal you. And then you will wonder why you cannot sleep. You will lie there in the dark, staring at the ceiling, replaying something someone said to you this afternoon. You will rehearse tomorrow's meetings in your mind as if practicing will protect you. You will feel that tightness in your chest, the one that always arrives right on schedule, somewhere around the time the room goes quiet and there is nothing left between you and your own thoughts. And you will do what you always do. You will clench your jaw, you will pull the blanket tighter, and you will whisper to yourself the most useless words a human being can say at night. Just stop thinking. Just relax. Just go to sleep. You've felt this, haven't you? And I want you to know something before we go any further tonight. You are not an insomniac. You are not anxious. You are not broken. You are simply untrained. No one, not your parents, not your teachers, not anyone in your life ever taught you how to close your day. You were taught how to start mornings. You were taught routines and alarms and schedules. But no one ever sat you down and said, here is how you set the day down when it is over. Here is how you walk through the gate from waking into rest. Tonight I am going to give you 5 practices. Not tips, not tricks. These are what monks have done for thousands of years, a sacred ceremony for the end of the day. 5 ways to set down what you are carrying, so that sleep can do what sleep was always meant to do, heal you. But before I share them, I want to tell you a story about a young monk and a bag of stones. There was once a young monk who lived in a monastery at the top of a long hill. Each morning, he would walk down the hill and into the village below to collect alms, food, offerings, whatever the villagers would share. He carried a simple cloth bag over his shoulder, and every morning the bag was empty, and the walk was easy, and the young monk moved through the streets with lightness in his step. But something strange would happen throughout the day. When a villager spoke harshly to him, dismissed him, mocked his robes, told him he was wasting his life, the young monk would feel a sting in his chest. And without realizing it, he would reach down, pick up a small stone from the road, and place it in his bag. When he made a mistake, forgot a prayer, said the wrong thing, stumbled over his words in front of the elder monks, he would feel that familiar tightness. And again, without thinking, another stone would find its way into the bag. And when a worry crossed his mind, what if the rains come early? What if the monastery cannot feed everyone this winter? What if I am not good enough for this life? He would pick up another stone, and another, and another. By midday, the bag was heavy. By afternoon, it pulled at his shoulder. And by evening, when the young monk climbed the long hill back to the monastery, the bag was so full of stones that his back bent under the weight. His legs burned, his breathing came hard. Some nights he could barely make it through the gate. Now I want you to imagine something. Imagine watching someone you love climb a hill every night, struggling under a weight they put on themselves, stone by stone, all day long. And imagine they do not even realize they are doing it. What would you say to them? That is what the old teacher saw. For weeks he watched from the monastery gate as the young monk arrived each evening, hunched, gasping, dragging this enormous bag of stones through the door. And for weeks the old teacher said nothing. He simply watched, because a lesson given too early is a lesson never learned. Then, one evening, an evening like any other, the teacher walked down and met the young monk at the gate. The young monk was bent almost double. Sweat ran down his face. His hands were white from gripping the strap of the bag, The teacher looked at him and asked a simple question. Why do you bring the village into the monastery every night? The young monk blinked. He looked at the bag as if seeing it for the first time, and he said what we always say, what you and I say every single night when we carry our day into our bed. He said, I don't mean to. They follow me. And the teacher shook his head. No, they don't follow you. You pick them up, one by one, all day long. You choose each stone, and then you carry them here to the one place that is meant for rest. The young monk stared at the bag. He could feel every stone. The sharp one from the insult that morning, the heavy, smooth one from the mistake he made at noon, the dozens of small, jagged ones, the worries, the what-ifs, the fears, all rattling against each other. He had been collecting them so automatically that he hadn't noticed his hands reaching for them. But what do I do with them? He asked, and there was something fragile in his voice, something you might recognize. That particular helplessness of knowing you are doing something to yourself and not knowing how to stop. The teacher pointed to the ground just outside the gate. You set them down, here, before you enter. But what if I need them? The young monk said, and his grip tightened on the bag. What if I need to remember the insult so I can prepare for it tomorrow? What if I need to remember my mistake so I don't repeat it? What if the worry is real and I need to plan for it? The teacher was quiet for a long moment. The kind of quiet that fills a room. The kind of quiet that teaches more than words ever could. Then he said, anything worth remembering will find you in the morning. It will be there, waiting for you, patient as sunrise. But what is not worth remembering, and most of it is not, will have dissolved by dawn. The dew will take it, the night will wash it clean, but only if you put it down tonight. This story is not about a monk on a hill in some distant country. This story is about tonight. This story is about you, because you have a bag too. You have been filling it all day, and you may not have noticed just like he didn't, because you have been doing it for so long that it feels like breathing. Think about it. What stones did you pick up today? Maybe it was a conversation that didn't go the way you wanted. That's a stone. Maybe it was something you said that you wish you could take back. That's a stone. Maybe it was a notification you saw, a comparison you made, a task you forgot, a worry about money, about health, about whether you are doing enough, being enough, keeping up. Stone. 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 And now here you are, in bed, in the dark. And the bag is so full you can barely breathe. Your chest is tight, have you noticed? Your jaw is clenched. Your shoulders are pulled up near your ears. Your mind is running through the stones one by one, examining each one, turning them over as if studying them hard enough in the dark will somehow make them lighter by morning. It won't. It never has. You know this. But here is what you may not know, what the young monk didn't know until the teacher showed him. The gate is right in front of you, and you are allowed to set the bag down. The 5 practices I will share with you now, they are your way of removing each stone, one by one, before you cross the threshold into rest. And the first stone is the heaviest. The first practice is what I call the evening release. 2,000 years ago, a Roman emperor named Marcus Aurelius did something peculiar every night. Before sleep, he sat in silence and reviewed his entire day, not to judge himself, but to understand himself. He walked backward through the hours, from evening to morning, examining what had happened with the curiosity of a student, not the harshness of a critic. The Stoics practiced this for centuries, but they were missing one piece. They reviewed, they did not release. Here is what the monks added. You walk backward through your day from this moment, right now, all the way back to the morning. And when you encounter a moment that tightens your chest, a memory that carries weight, You do not analyze it. You do not argue with it. You breathe in fully and you exhale it out. You watch it leave your body with the breath, and you move to the next one. Think of it as returning borrowed things. The anger you felt this afternoon, it belonged to that moment. Give it back. The worry about tomorrow, it belongs to tomorrow. Let tomorrow carry it. You have been holding things that were never yours to keep overnight. You know, there is an old story about a man sitting in his small boat on a quiet river. The water is still, the evening is calm, and suddenly another boat crashes into his. The jolt is violent, the wood cracks, and the man spins around, furious, ready to shout at whoever was so careless. And then he sees it. The other boat is empty, it drifted loose from its mooring. No one is steering it, no one is inside, and in an instant his anger vanishes. The collision was the same, the damage was the same, but with no one to blame, the rage had nowhere to live. Most of the stones you picked up today were empty boats, things that bumped into you, moments with no villain. But you responded as if someone had aimed every single one of them directly at your heart. Isn't it so? Tonight, as you review your day, look at each stone honestly. How many of them were empty boats? Here is the practice. Close your eyes. Begin with the last thing that happened today. Move backward, slowly. When you find a moment that tightens your chest, breathe in fully and release it with your exhale. Watch it leave. You are not suppressing it. You are returning it to where it came from. Move to the next. Continue until you reach the morning. By the time you arrive at the beginning of your day, your bag will already be lighter. You have been replaying your day every night already. You simply haven't been releasing it. Tonight, you will do both. One stone, set down. The second practice may surprise you. Once you have released the weight of what happened, you do not move to what went wrong. You move to what went unnoticed. I am not going to ask you to be grateful. You have heard that word so many times it has lost its meaning. I am going to ask you something different. I am going to ask you to be honest about what you missed. A Zen master was once asked, what was the most remarkable thing about awakening? He answered simply, I eat when I eat, I sleep when I sleep. That was it. The deepest wisdom is not extraordinary. It is attention to the ordinary. And your day, this ordinary Tuesday, this nothing special Wednesday, was full of moments that were quietly, silently good. You missed them because your mind was somewhere else. You do this, don't you? You let the beautiful moments pass right through you while you hold on to the painful ones with both hands. Here is the practice. Each night, name 3 specific moments of aliveness from the day. Not grand blessings, not things you think you should be grateful for. Micro moments. The warmth of water on your hands while washing dishes. A stranger who held a door. The first sip of something warm when the taste actually registered on your tongue. The way the sky looked at one specific moment when you happened to glance up. Specificity is everything. Not, I am grateful for my health. That is a thought. Instead, I am grateful for the feeling in my legs when I walked up the stairs this afternoon. That is a sensation. That is real. That is something your mind can hold. Can you find one right now? Think about today. Just one moment where something small was quietly good. It is there, I promise you. You simply weren't looking for it. Here is why this matters. What you notice grows. What you name before sleep, your mind begins searching for tomorrow. You are not just counting blessings. You are training your mind to hunt for beauty instead of threat. Night after night, you are reprogramming the filter through which you see your entire life. You do not need to force gratitude. You only need to tell the truth about what you missed. 2 stones set down. Now we come to the third practice, and this is the one most people resist. This is the stone that most people never put down, and it is the one that will change your sleep more than any other. It is the practice of forgiveness. 2 monks were traveling together when they reached a river. The current was strong. A young woman stood at the bank, unable to cross. Without a word, the older monk lifted her onto his shoulders, carried her across, set her gently on the other side, and continued walking. The younger monk was stunned. For hours he said nothing, but his silence was loud. Finally, he burst out, "How could you carry that woman? We have taken vows. We are not supposed to touch anyone." The older monk turned to him and said, "I set her down at the river. You are still carrying her. You know exactly who I am talking about, don't you? Their face just appeared in your mind. That weight of carrying someone who wronged you not on your shoulders, but in your chest, in your jaw, in the shallow breathing that comes when their name crosses your mind. You carry them into your bed every night. They sleep peacefully, you do not. But here is what I need you to hear, and please hear this carefully. The forgiveness I am asking you to practice tonight is not only for them, it is for you. Because you are harshest with yourself in the dark, isn't it so? The mistakes you made today, they visit you at night like unwelcome guests, and you open the door every time. You replay what you should have said. You punish yourself for what you forgot. You hold yourself to a standard that you would never impose on anyone you love. Hello? You would never speak to someone you care about the way you speak to yourself at 2 in the morning. Here is the practice. Before sleep, silently offer 3 phrases. First, to anyone who caused you pain today, and it may be a small pain, it does not need to be dramatic. Say to them, "Silently I release you. You owe me nothing tonight." Then, to yourself, and this is the part that matters most, say, "I forgive myself for what I did not know. I forgive myself for what I could not do. I release myself from today's mistakes." You made mistakes today. You spoke when you should have been silent. You were silent when you should have spoken. You forgot something. You failed at something. You fell short of who you wanted to be. And none of it disqualifies you from peace tonight. Let that land for a moment. You do not need to rush past it. You have punished yourself enough for today. Whatever you did or did not do, the sentence is over. It ended when the sun went down. Forgiveness is not weakness. Forgiveness is not saying what happened was acceptable. Forgiveness is the refusal to let yesterday's pain become tomorrow's prison. You are not forgiving because they deserve it. You are forgiving because you deserve to sleep without carrying them. 3 stones set down. Now your mind is lighter, your heart is softer. It is time to tend to the body that carried you through this entire day without once complaining. The 4th practice is what I call the body sanctuary. Think of your body as a temple that has been open all day. Hundreds of visitors, noise, movement, demands from every direction. The floors are dusty. The candles have burned low. Some doors were left open that should have been closed. And now evening has come. In every temple in the world, there is a moment at the end of the day when someone walks through, room by room, quietly. They close the doors. They sweep the floors. They relight what needs to be relit. They whisper to the walls, "Rest now." No one has done this for your body today. You used it. You pushed it through hours of sitting, or standing, or rushing. You asked everything of it and thanked it for nothing. Does that sound familiar? If someone you loved had worked as hard as your body worked today, you would tell them to sit down. You would say, "You have done enough." Your body has been waiting all day for you to say those same words. So tonight you will walk through the temple. Bring your attention to the crown of your head. Just notice what is there. Do not try to change it. Simply say, silently, one word, rest. Feel whatever responds. Even slightly. That is enough. Move to your forehead, the place where you furrow and worry and concentrate. Rest. Your jaw. You have been clenching it all day, and you didn't even know. Right now, let it drop. Let your teeth come apart. Let your tongue fall from the roof of your mouth. Rest. Your shoulders. You've been carrying the world on them, not metaphorically, literally. Feel how high they are right now. Let them fall. They have been waiting for your permission all day. Rest. Move through your chest, your belly, your hips, your legs, which carried you from room to room, from task to task, all day long without a single word of thanks. Your feet, which have borne the full weight of your life today. Rest, rest, rest. Your body listens to you, it always has. But you have been speaking to it in the language of tension and urgency all day long. Tonight, speak to it in the language of rest. Your body does not need to be fixed tonight. It only needs to be thanked. 4 stones, set down. Your mind is clear, your heart is open, your body is at rest. There is one final practice, and the monks considered it the most powerful of all. It concerns the very last thought you hold before sleep takes you. There is a moment just before you fall asleep, when your mind is neither fully awake nor fully asleep. The ancient yogis called this the golden threshold. In this sliver of time, your conscious mind loosens its grip, and your subconscious mind opens wide. Whatever thought you hold in that moment falls directly into the deepest soil of your being, and it grows. All night long, without your knowledge, without your permission. Now think about what you have been planting. Every night you fall asleep to worry, to regret, to the blue glow of a screen showing you someone else's life. You have been handing the gardener of your subconscious fistfuls of weeds, and then waking up wondering why your mornings feel heavy, why your mind feels cluttered, why nothing seems to change, no matter what you do during the day. You can feel the truth of this, can't you? You have never been a victim of your nights. You have been an unconscious gardener, and tonight, for the first time, you will plant something on purpose. Here is the practice. Choose one thought, one image, one feeling, one intention. Not a wish list, not an affirmation you don't believe. Something real, something you can feel. It could be the feeling of being at peace, just that, just the warmth of peace in your chest. It could be an image of yourself, as you wish to become, not in detail, just the feeling of being that person. It could be a single word, enough, whole, free. Whatever you choose, hold it the way you would hold a candle flame in a dark room, gently, steadily, with attention but without force. What would you plant tonight if you believed it would grow? Hold that thought. That is your seed. The teacher told the young monk, anything worth remembering will find you in the morning. But this is the other side of that truth. What you plant with intention before sleep does not dissolve by dawn, it blooms. It grows roots while you rest. And morning after morning, you begin to wake into a garden you chose instead of one you stumbled into. You do not need to believe this completely tonight. You only need to try it once. 5 stones, set down. Do you remember the young monk at the gate? Every evening bent double under a bag of stones he had collected all day, every evening barely able to walk. But one night, after his teacher's words, he stopped at the gate. He opened the bag, and one by one he set each stone on the ground. The first stone, the weight of what happened today, he released it with his breath. The second stone, the beauty he had missed, he named it, felt it warm his hands, and set it down gently. The third stone, the unforgiveness he had been carrying for himself and others, he whispered his release and felt it dissolve like salt in water. The fourth stone, the tension locked in his body, he spoke to it softly, room by room, and it softened. And the fifth stone, the last thought he would carry into sleep, he chose it. With intention, with care, he planted a seed instead of a stone. And when he stepped through the monastery gate that night, he was lighter than he had been in years, not because his life had changed, not because the village had become kinder, not because his problems had disappeared, but because he had finally learned the ancient art of setting things down. Tonight, you have this same choice. The gate is in front of you, the bag is in your hands, no one can set it down for you, but now, for the first time, you know how. You have carried enough for today. Whatever happened, the things that went wrong, the things that didn't go at all, the conversations you are still replaying, the worries you are still clutching their time, is over. Not because they don't matter, but because you matter more. Your rest matters more. Your peace matters more. And the night has been waiting, patiently, faithfully, to do the one thing it was designed to do, heal you, but only if you let it, only if you set the bag down first. So tonight, release what happened, name what was beautiful, forgive what hurt, thank the body that carried you, and plant one single thought, the thought you want to wake up to in the last moment before sleep takes you. The young monk set his bag down at the gate, not because his day had been easy, not because the stones weren't real, but because he finally understood the monastery was not built for stones. It was built for rest, and so is your night, and so is your bed, and so are you. You are not broken, you have never been broken, you were simply never taught the ceremony. Now you have it, use it tonight. May you set down every stone you have carried today. May the night wash you clean. May you wake tomorrow lighter than you have felt in a very long time. And may you remember, in the quiet of this moment, what the old teacher knew: everything you need to begin again will be waiting for you in the morning, but only if you let go of it tonight. Rest now. You have earned it, not through what you did today, but through what you are. You have always earned it. And if you felt something shift tonight, even slightly, leave one word below, just one word, lighter, so that someone else lying in the dark right now, carrying their own bag of stones, will scroll down and know they are not the only one. Rest well. I will be here when you return.